Until 3, Darren James.
And on the Holden News, Simon Love, 3AW reporter, is at Fishermans Bend. Simon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Darren. Yeah, I've just arrived here at the Holden factory here in Victoria, which is going to be heavily impacted by the announcement which GM Holden has just made. A statement's just come through from Detroit. It reads, as part of its ongoing actions, decisively address the performance of its global operations, GM Holden will transition to a national sales company in Australia and New Zealand. Now, the numbers, it means that as a result, approximately 2,900 positions are going to be impacted over the next 4 years up to 2017. That includes 1,300 people from here where I'm standing at the Holden Victorian plant.
All right, Simon, thanks very much for that, Simon Love. And Tony will have more on that shortly.
Workers are beginning to emerge from an all-staff meeting at Holden's Port Melbourne factory. Simon Love is there.
I'm standing here in the car park of the Holden Port Melbourne factory where workers are just emerging from the factory. They've just been told the news in a staff meeting. One worker who didn't want to be named spoke to me and said that he's absolutely devastated, that it doesn't mean good things for the car industry at all in Australia. He actually thought more about his dad, who's worked here at the Port Melbourne factory for 8 or 9 years, and he's going to be left without a job by the time this factory closes in 2016. At Port Melbourne, Simon Love, Fairfax Radio News.
We'll be covering this throughout the program. Simon Love, 3AW reporter, was down in Port Melbourne at Holden's rather apocryphal announcement, and he joins us now. Simon, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Tom. Look, I wasn't actually here when the announcement happened, but I did speak to the workers as they came out, and they were telling me about the announcement. One worker who didn't want his name to be known basically said he's devastated. He's a massive blow to his family because his dad's also worked here for 8 or 9 years, and he's without a job when the factory is wound up in 2016. Now, the mood here now is quite sombre. We've spoken to a couple of Holden officials who have told us that the workers will be leaving the back gate. I'm standing at the back of the factory. Around about 4 p.m, we'll see a lot of workers coming out, and they're not going to be too happy at all, Tom, after hearing the announcement. At 3 p.m, all of the staff were called into a meeting. They were given the news there, and I understand that they were then taken into separate group meetings to, I guess, ascertain what it means for their specific job. What sort of support they will be getting. But what we do know, Tom, 1,300 workers from Holden's Victorian workforce here, based here at the Port Melbourne factory, well, their jobs, unfortunately, they will go by 2017, as early as 2016.
Thank you very much there, Simon. Of course, another 1,600 jobs in the South Australian plant at Elizabeth will also go.
Now let's go down to Port Melbourne, the factory there, Holden factory. Simon Love is a 3AW reporter who has been doing similar things in Melbourne. Hi, Simon.
Good afternoon, Brian. Yes, I'm just walking down the side of the Port Melbourne factory. I've been speaking to a couple of workers that have come out of an all-staff meeting where they were told that they'd be losing their jobs pretty much. The factory here is going to be wound up by 2016, a little bit before the Elizabeth factory in South Australia.
Okay, so there's about 1,300 workers affected there, Simon. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right, Brian. And the person that I was speaking to, he didn't want his name known, but he basically said it's devastating and it just does not mean any good for the manufacturing industry here in Australia.
No, it's certainly not that. I guess the reaction from the workers was pretty similar to that which Michael described in over in Adelaide, a recognition that this was likely to happen, it was going to happen, but the reality of it is a whole other thing, isn't it?
Well, that's right. I mean, they knew that something was going on. There was a lot of media speculation, as much as yesterday when Holden boss Mike Devereux in front of the Productivity Commission in Melbourne, basically saying that no decision had been made on the future. Well, Brian, the decision's been made. The statement's come out around about an hour ago. We now know that around about 1,300 workers here at Holden's Port Melbourne plant, they're going to be left without a job by the time 2016 rolls around.
Yeah, indeed. And Simon, it does appear that the decision was largely made overnight. The noises out from Mike Devereux, the boss here in Australia, was that no decision had been made, and yet suddenly today we've got one. You can only imagine it was either made, and he was telling us porkies yesterday, or it was made overnight.
Well, it seems that way, that the decision was made overnight, because the Victorian Premier, Dennis Knapstein, the first that he made anything known about it was 2 p.m. He got up to his feet in question time in State Parliament and said that Holden will be no more in Victoria as of 2016, and that's when we knew something was going on. There were reports as early as 5 minutes to 2 o'clock, but it all happened very quickly. statement came out, and the workers are leaving here. They're quite devastated.
Yeah, okay. Simon, appreciate your time, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Simon.
Simon Love from our sister station 3AW in Melbourne. Here's just one of the workers who was spoken to by the media in the at the Melbourne factory, the Port Melbourne factory.
Pretty much Holden Australia, won't be much around longer.
It's a pretty sad day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's just tough for the Holden workers. They've been here for years and years, so I don't know what they're going to do.
Let's head down to Simon Love from 3AW, who's down at the Holden factory in Victoria. Simon, I would imagine it's quite a distressing place to be today when so many workers have found out that they won't have a job.
Yes, good afternoon, Mark. It certainly is a distressing place. Workers are just leaving the back of the Holden Port Melbourne factory. They're absolutely shattered. We've spoken to a few of them. They don't know what they're going to do ahead of Christmas. They've got wives, children, families to care for, and they've just been dealt a massive blow. The announcement that Holden is scaling back its manufacturing here in Australia. It comes after the announcement from Ford a couple of months ago. It means that 2,900 jobs will be impacted over the next 4 years, 1,600 at the Elizabeth plant in South Australia and 1,300 here in Victoria at the plant where I'm standing right now. It's not a very good day here at Holden.
It's certainly not, mate. Thanks for that.
Holden workers have reacted with anger and emotion to today's decision. Simon Love is at Holden's Port Melbourne factory.
All of the staff at Holden's factory here in Fishermans Bend were told the news at a staff meeting at 2 p.m, with 1,300 jobs to go by 2016. Worker Rod DeBurr says it didn't come as a surprise.
Yeah, you could see what was going to happen. I think this has been on the wall for a long time.
Mechanic Richard Brown says it will be tough to support his wife and kids.
If anyone wants a mechanic, I'm available.
Do you know what you're going to do next?
Go home, cry? No idea.
Ron has worked here for 15 years. He says there's many to blame.
Governments don't care. They fight amongst themselves.
Ron went on to sum up the mood here at the Port Melbourne factory.
It's an icon gone.
The workers will be back here tomorrow, but with the full knowledge that they will be out of a job in 3 years. Simon Love, Fairfax Radio News, Port Melbourne.